When I think of you guys, the thing I think of is the long, single tracking shot.
I thought you started with what I think of you guys. I was like, this is going to be the best interview ever.
Right.
He's just going to come right out and be like, what I think of you guys, and then just like give it to us straight.
What I think of you guys is the pop equivalent, the pop rock equivalent of Brian De Palma in Bonfire of the Vanities.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Remember that long opening tracking shot with
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis?
Yeah.
You know, every time I see a video that you guys do, this is what I think of. You know, minus the Bruce Willis thing, because I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Well, we do. I mean, this just makes you observant because yes, most of them are one long shot.
No, why would you subject yourself to this torture? I mean, the Here Goes Again video was inspired because it was cheap and it was treadmills and it was easy to do.
Well,
I don't know if it was easy.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Speak
comparative.
for yourself, pal. Have you ever tried to dance on like treadmills?
No, I haven't.
Not exactly easy, but you're right. It was cheap. And it did not require the the knowledge of our record label or our management or anyone. We just went to my sister's house, spent a week there, and out came the treadmills.
It was also sort of the best way to document the event that was going on.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with the single takes is that we like our videos to be something, to be an event that the band has taken place in. You know, we want it to be clear that they're not advertisements for something else. It's not like, you know, we make music and then there are these ads that our label makes. We make all sorts of stuff, and the best way to sort of document this is something that we did is to make it all one shot.
Well, yeah, and there's two for the first single from This Too Shall Pass.
Yes.
And the first one is you in a field with this marching band that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're all in ghillie suits.
Yeah.
That's the Notre Dame marching band.
That is the Notre Dame marching band.
Yeah.
Okay, how does one hire the Notre Dame marching band to be in a video?
You call them. You just we saw the Notre Dame marching band on YouTube. They performed "Here It Goes Again," the song for which we did the treadmill video,
right.
at a halftime show for a football game, and they made like a giant field presentation of you know, a massive treadmill. And of course, like that is sort of the thing we are known for, but on steroids. You know, it's like this big, massive dance, but you know, instead of 4 people, it's 400. And so we were pretty blown away. And we called them up, and we're just like, if you guys want to do something together, we would love to. And they were excited about it. And initially, it was sort of like, well, we could find 2 hours and practice here or there or whatever. And we eventually realized that the best way to do it was to go during their school break. So during fall break, we went, and about a third of the band just didn't go on vacation. They stayed and worked on the video with us.
How long did that take?
The shooting, we actually shot it all in one day, but the choreography took about a week.
Yeah, to work it out.
Yeah.
And the planning took a month or 2, I guess.
So it's, I was, at the end, of course, it's a crane shot and looking down on everybody. Is it a crane shot?
Well, it's a cherry picker with a pulley on it. We couldn't afford like an actual crane.
Right.
So we have the camera is just sort of riding on the shoulders of the cameraman with a homemade sort of latch on the back of it, and then there's just a carabiner that latches onto the camera, and up it goes.
You're kidding. That's all.
It's just a guy on the end of a rope. But the problem is, of course, we have no control over it swinging.
Right.
So we did, I think, like 15 or 18 shots, and only 3 of them had moderately stable ends. I mean, the difficult part of that, like there wasn't particularly difficult choreography for that. So the difficult parts were making sure that the camera was pretty steady and that our live performance was pretty good, because the sound for that video is all live. There's no, we don't even, you know, we didn't think of it as a music video initially.
It's a performance.
Yeah, it's a live performance, just sort of choreographed like a music video would be. So we were lucky that one of the best audio takes was one of the 3 that had a sort of stable ending. So.
How many takes were there? 15 or 18?
Yeah, something like 15 or 18. I
Yeah,
can't remember. It was
that.
less than 20, more than 10.
Okay.
That means teens.
Now let's go to the, I guess we call it the Rube Goldberg video.
Yes.
Now, when I first saw that, I mean, my first thought was, okay, why are you splattered with paint?
Good. It worked. Yeah, we sort of wanted people to be curious because the answer comes at the end when you realize that the thing is a cycle and it's been going on all day.
It looks like maybe it could be a Slaughter movie in the beginning.
Well, it does. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, okay, this is a little bit strange. I'm not sure where this is going. But that contraption is what, did you have a name for it?
I think we just referred to it as the Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
Not terribly inventive.
And who designed it?
Well, we designed it with a group called Sin Labs, who they're friends of ours from. There's a sort of nerd art party in Los Angeles that happens once a month called Mindshare, and some of these guys are the folks that organize that. And the rest of them are people who work at NASA and Jet Propulsion Labs and stuff. I mean, these are like super high-level engineers. I posted a job listing online, thinking we'd need like 1 or 2 engineers for a month or two, and certainly that was all we could afford. And these dozen people all responded with one large brief saying there was a 25-page proposal to do the project. And I was like, we'd love to, but we can't afford you all. And they were like, no, we just want to do it anyway. So it wound up taking 6 months in the end. There were about two and a half months of planning and getting this, doing basic design ideas together, and then renting the space and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually the engineers started in late November building, and the band moved into the space in January and spent the last 2 weeks sort of just like getting it all up to speed.
How many takes?
89 takes. Mm-hmm. 89 rolls of the film. Mm-hmm. Of course, we ran the machine hundreds of times, but it only got to the end 3 times.
Well, because it's so intricate, and everybody has to be in their spot, and you have the machine has to go with the music, and
yeah. I mean,
it's more the machine than us having to be in our spots.
Yeah, if we gotten a good take without the band in our spots, we would have kept going. One of the sort of interesting things about working with all these really high-level engineers was that they're, it's like really deeply ingrained in them to make things that are reliable and efficient and that work all the time. And the thrill of a Rube Goldberg machine is it's things that look like they're just on the edge of not working, right? Like, dominoes sort of have their own particular thrill, but you like things that barely make it to the next interaction. I mean, that's sort of like what makes them so exciting. So we had to keep on asking, taking out really well-designed, handmade machines that they were beautiful, but they just weren't sort of commonplace. We wanted things that anybody could have done if they had,
a pile of junk or a pile of stuff in the house, and you put it together, and there it is.
Yeah, I mean, in general,
Mom could have done it.
Yeah, right. In general, when we can, one of the things we like to do with videos is try to do something that everybody has access to. I mean, the treadmills are another thing where anybody could do that. Not many people are would waste that much of their time coming up with a dance routine on treadmills, but it's not specialized knowledge. It's not like only filmmakers get to do this.
Right. Well, it's the 2 bands that are making the most innovative videos these days are you and Weezer. I mean, you guys always come up with something very, very surprising. How many views have those 3 videos? The 2 songs, the 3 videos. How many views have they had on YouTube?
On YouTube together, they're somewhere around 80 million. Those 3.
80 million people have watched that. And then
if you start adding the international sites and stuff, YouTube isn't nearly as big overseas as in Korea. They have their own thing. It gets way up there. It's pretty awesome.
So let's just say 100 million people have consumed those 2 songs.
Or one person has consumed them
100 million times. Okay. How has it paid off?
It's paid off in all sorts of ways. I mean, there's sort of latent in that question. There's this sort of assumption that that music videos are an advertisement for something else. But for us, it's paid off because that is success. It's if someone were to have a song that were a massive hit, you don't really ever think I wonder what that's done for them. You just think, well, that's what they were out for, we see the entire project of being a band as sort of a chance to make artwork. There's we make films, we make albums, we make concerts, we make everything or everything we have the opportunity to, and so what this has done for us, it makes it that much easier for the next crazy idea to actually happen. If the treadmills hadn't been so successful, there's no chance we could have walked into NASA and been like, can we have some of your engineers for a couple months? So it's I guess that's the really exciting part for us. Is it allows us to keep chasing our creative ideas, and of course, it brings a lot more people to our shows, and you know, I mean, it's sort of it's what our career is, more or less, is making you know, trying to chase down our craziest ideas.
Well, what you've done is you've taken the new media, harnessed it, and probably better than just about anybody else these days.
Well, I think, again, it's because it's we don't feel like we've harnessed something exterior to ourselves. It's sort of like that's where we live. You know, I mean, we communicate with our loved ones more over the internet than we do any other way these days. You know, it's more email and Skype than it is telephones, and there's certainly more business done over the internet. That's where I watch TV shows now, and that's what I mean. It's like it's our so much of our cultural and personal lives happen online, and that it's just sort of like the natural space for us to be making art. You know. And I think, you know, we played a show, and one of the head guys at Apple was there, and what he said to us, and this was really super flattering, was he thinks of us as the first band to use the internet as an art space and not just a space of commerce.
Yes.